Hello everyone and welcome back to Game Week 3 of the 2024-25 Optegra Championship, where you join myself, Ryan Sipple, for the final game of the day between Sale United and AFC Bournemouth Warriors. Let's go through the squads very quickly before I bring you the action live. Starting with Sale United, they have Jack Hassan, Daniel Holt, Jake Hudson, David D and Mason Davies, their coach. Also their goalkeeper, Jake Hudson. AFC Bournemouth Warriors have had a difficult day. 2 games played, 2 defeats. Comprised of just 4 players. Adam Sevenoaks, Dakota Hannum, Ryan Skinner and Roxy Berry. Their coach, Sam Hicks. To show you the live league standings, you will see that AFC Bournemouth Warriors, unfortunately, are rooted to the bottom with just 4 points from 10 games. Sale United, should they win this, would go a point behind West Bromwich Albion. Dudley had the pleasure of commentating alongside David D earlier. We just spoke about how stringing together 2 or 3 wins could really change the narrative and the look of the Championship division. You can see how closely contested it is. First and second, GBG Knights and Muscle Warriors on 31 points apiece. And then you're looking at Teesside Steel, Villa Rockets Lions, Manchester United and Leeds Dynamos currently all vying it out for that 3rd place playoff. Anyone that wasn't present or hasn't been present in any of our games today, you should know that the 3rd place position at the conclusion of the 24-25 campaign will be placed in a one-off playoff fixture against whoever finishes 10th in the Premiership. So if you're looking at it at present, if the season was to end this second, Teesside Steel in the Championship would play Nottinghamshire in the Premiership. I'm now delighted to be joined on commentary once again by WFA chairperson Dean Williams. How are you?
I'm very good, Ryan. Happy to be back again. The last game of the first day of Game Week 3.
Absolutely. Again, apologies if I sound like a broken record, but following this game, we will be conducting the round 3 draw of the 24-25 John Good Group WFA Cup, which introduces the Premiership teams to the competition. We still observe a north-south divide, so at present there is 8 teams in the draw from the north. There's 8 teams in the draw for the south, which will comprise 4 fixtures. The winner of them 4 fixtures will progress to the quarter-final and semi-final showcase at the Derby Arena on May the 11th. When we're referencing Championship teams in the 3rd round draw, we have GBG Knights, we have Muscle Warriors, we have Leeds Dynamos, and we have Manchester United.
And I've just been up to the gallery and they're getting all set up, Ryan, for the cup draw.
It's music to my ears. I'm the one that's normally frantically panicking and rushing other people to get things all ready. So that's great to hear. Hopefully we can be live fairly soon after we conclude things in this fixture. Live on Court A, ready to kick off. Teesside Steel looking to cap off a sensational Saturday with a win over Manchester City. That one live on the WFA's YouTube channel as well. The action for that one will be brought to you by Owen Swift and Dylan Palmer. Here we are underway. You're joining myself, Ryan Sipple, and Dean Williams for Sale United against AFC Bournemouth Warriors. As already mentioned, AFC Bournemouth Warriors have had a challenging Saturday, a 4-0 defeat to Manchester United, a 9-0 defeat to GBG Knights, who are top of the table. Further context, I think, needs to be applied. They were down to only 3 players in that one due to a chair fault of Ryan Skinner. So hopefully they can keep 4 players on the court for this one, which will be equally as challenging. Sale United, one of my favourite teams to watch in the division, certainly when referencing a team that is so proficient in their defensive duties. There's few that do a better job than Sale United. Sale United have played today as well. 1-0 defeat to Villa Rockets. So to go through the squads starting this fixture, Sale United comprised of Jake Hudson, Jack Hassan, Daniel Holt and David D, the single substitute, Mason Davies. And on the topic of Mason Davies, I had a conversation with David D about who is the youngest player competing within our National League. He only started playing power chair football in September of last year, and he's already competing in the National League Championship. Not just that, I've been told that he has a very high ceiling, and they've been blown away with the levels of his performance within training and regional league. So hopefully we get to see him feature in this game, if not across the remaining games of the 24-25 season. So one to watch certainly. And AFC Bournemouth Warriors, just 4 players at their disposal. Dakota Hannum in the yellow goalkeeper jersey. They have Ryan Skinner, Adam Sevenoaks and Roxy Berry. Daniel Holt just trying to wrap his chair around that ball to keep the momentum going in the way of Bournemouth's goal. Pick off from David D. One thing that I've observed across Sale United's performances is that fluid positional play of David D and Jack Hassan. They're constantly rotating their positions as to who will play in the centre, who will play out wide. They're not fixed, they're not rooted, and that has aided this defensive unit. Jack Hassan puts it on in the path of Daniel Holt, saved by Dakota Hannum.
And a little birdie tells me that a certain young man called David D was very, very impressive on commentary earlier on.
Yeah, the first time he's ever commentated on a power chair football game. Only 14 years of age, but so confident, speaks so well, and reads and analyses the game brilliantly. Another player with no ceiling, and he's a jewel in the crown of Sale United. He was voted the standout player of game week 2 of the 24-25 Optegra Championship, and that hopefully shows why. He opens the scoring here. Congratulations to David D.
Not just a commentator with lots of talent then,
No.
based on that evidence.
No, a fantastic player, a fantastic person, and he opens the scoring. I apologise for that scoreline that you can see. It is a 1-0 scoreline to Sale United.
Yeah. Corner kick in to Sale United. Already 1 goal to the good. And that looks like it's gone straight out to a goal kick. So work to do here for Bournemouth after, as Ryan has already mentioned, a very tough opening day to the weekend of game week 3 in the Optegra Championship. They want to end with something to hold on to going into day 2, that's for certain.
We speak about how closely contested it is towards the top and the race for third. Worth noting that whilst it's been a really challenging day for AFC Bournemouth Warriors, a win for them, or 3 points for them, would see them go within just a point of Nottingham Forest in 11th and 2 points of Manchester City and Hull in 9th and 10th respectively. So it shows that if they're able to just find a win or two that they can find themselves with a degree of comfort over that, not necessarily relegation zone, because there's not direct jeopardy within the Championship, but if they can avoid being drawn into that playoff structure, fixtures in June, they will appreciate that. Add to that the fact that they're without Chris King, who is probably their standout performer, a brilliant influence on this team, both on and off the court.
And on that note, we should absolutely reference, shouldn't we, some recognition that's been given to Chris King as well, Ryan, over the last few days.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge congratulations to Chris King, who within the week...
Premier League community captain.
Yeah, so it is an accolade for individuals that go above and beyond in the work they do for their community initiative. So each of the Premier League teams get to nominate a Premier League community champion or captain, and Chris King was voted that for AFC Bournemouth in the Premier League. So I think that just speaks to the work that he does on and off the court, and why he's such a sore miss for them this weekend. You can see that the score has been corrected now. Sale United 1, AFC Bournemouth Warriors 0. David D, the single goal scorer. Daniel Holt lines up a shot. Brilliant goal. Jack Hassan once again providing the assist. Daniel Holt with the goal.
Nice finish.
Yeah, really nice. And the ball over to Daniel Holt likewise. So Ryan Skinner to take the kick-off. We're back underway, straight in to the Sale United half. Jake Hudson with one of his first involvements in the fixture. Should there be any update on Court A, we will bring you them. I believe there has been a goal for Teesside still, which I think would see them end the day's action in that third place position. Jack Hassan to take. Cleared by Ryan Skinner, likewise from Roxy Berry, kept live by David D. Good save by Dakota Hannum. Fairly relentless pressure from Sale United. This season, Sale United have never managed to score more than 2 goals against their opposition, so another for them would see them boast their greatest scoreline of the season thus far. Not overly prolific in front of goal. Their success and the reason why they're such a good team is that defence. Jack Hassan back to David D. Ricocheted off the front of Adam Sevenoak's chair. David D with responsibility now. Opts to go across the box, cleared by Dakota Hannum. Jack Hassan. .12.5 minutes played. Sale United 2, AFC Bournemouth Warriors 0. Fairly one-way traffic so far. Jack Hassan trying to advance up the court, prevented by Ryan Skinner, but he's going to put pressure on Dakota Hannum. Mason Davies on in place of Daniel Holt, so it gives us an opportunity to really look at that young man. That is unprecedented for a player to come in to the sport for the first time. What, 4 or 5 months ago? And be comfortable competing against some of the country's best players.
It's an amazing story, isn't it? We love stories like that. And we know, again, without really seeing anything we shouldn't at too early stage, Ryan, the conversations and the work that you're putting into developing new clubs and therefore new players coming into Power Chair football for the first time. If an individual has aspirations of completing at an elite level quickly, what a brilliant story that is from Mason Davies.
Yeah.
So congratulations to him. This is his debut?
No, he made his debut, certainly in terms of a season as a whole. He featured in one game during game week 2 of the season.
Okay.
He featured in Sale United's earlier game against Villa Rockets Lions. So this is only his maybe third, possibly even fourth fixture. So they're using him sparingly. They're not rushing him into things, which is absolutely the right thing to do. He's going to have an opportunity to score now. Beautiful assist. You can see what it means to the coaches. And I am delighted for him. It's normally curse of the commentator, but I'm not sure what the opposite of that is.
We keep mentioning players and then they do something spectacular.
But
we'll start getting requests in a minute.
David D with the brace. Mason Davies with the assist.
Right on cue.
But that will... What I was going to go on to say is about using players sparingly, just kind of easing them into National League football, which has a level of intensity unlike anything else. And I factor training and regional leagues into that. It is a completely different step up. But if you can safeguard them and ensure that psychologically they're ready, which is almost more important than the physical attributes of the game, then that's essentially the duty of coaches. That's the role that they perform in nurturing young talent. And you're seeing the brilliant job that Mark Hudson and Jonathan D are doing in just easing Mason into things, and they will be delighted. They were happier than anyone with that assist. And in David D and Mason Davies, they have two very bright young prospects. Sale United 3, AFC Bournemouth Warriors 0. And now I can confirm that this is the greatest scoreline they've managed to boast all season. Can they add to it? 4 minutes left of this first half, followed by a second interval of 20 minutes. Love to see Mason Davies score. But likewise, I hope AFC Bournemouth Warriors can find a little bit of confidence in their rhythm, just adjusting to the tactical setup without Chris King, who, as already mentioned, such a crucial cog in the way that they play.
They smell opportunity here, Sale United. You can see that, can't you? You just kind of hope that it's been a very difficult day for Bournemouth. So you just hope that we were talking with Forest about there's a resilience, and they don't want this to get to a scoreline that's difficult for them to go into the second day of this game week 3. So you know, hopefully that is something they can take from the game if they contain. But like I say, Sale United's smelling opportunity, no question about it.
You'll see from that graphic that just popped up, Teesside Steel 2 goals up against Manchester City. I'll bring the live league standings up at the half-time break, so you'll see what that does for that third place race. David D down to Jack Hassan. David D looking for his hat-trick. Mason Davies looking for his first goal within the National League. Over to Mason Davies, fires it goal bound, and there it is. I hope you can see what it means to his coaches. I have no doubt that he has a parent or carer up on the mezzanine above us, because that was the first place they looked. Congratulations to him. He only started playing power chair football 5 months ago, and already he's competing within the National League and scoring goals. 1 assist, 1 goal. I think he's only been on 5, maybe 10 minutes.
Yes.
It's once again a Jack Hassan assist. But a real moment for him to treasure. Congratulations to Mason Davies. Sale United 4, AFC Bournemouth Warriors 0. The youngest player competing in our National League, which encompasses both the Premiership and the Championship. And I'd be remiss not to thank Optegra for the role that they provide in supporting our National League, both the Premiership and Championship, as the sponsors. They have a commitment to improving lives through better eye healthcare, which aligns perfectly with our mission of growing and governing the sport of power chair football and providing opportunities for players to participate in competitive sport, building skills and fostering a sense of community. And Mason Davies scoring that just shows what we're trying to accomplish with the support of Optegra, providing young, talented players the opportunity to really thrive. Final 15 seconds of this first half, and what a first half it's been for Sale United.
They are buzzing, aren't they?
As they should be. I don't want to heap too much praise on them, because this is a really kind of difficult phase for AFC Bournemouth Warriors, but it really is fantastic viewing. And when you're referencing teams that have shown a clear progression and development from seasons gone by, Sale United are probably top of that. Even more so when you consider the fact that they saw 3 key departures in the off-season. So a rebuild as well for them, as Jeff Lewis blows the whistle for half-time. Sale United 4, AFC Bournemouth Warriors 0. I'm itching to see the league table, as I'm sure you are as well. So let's bring that up for your reference. You'll see a win for Sale United would see them still remain in 8th, but go just a point behind West Bromwich Albion Dudley. Teesside still currently 2 goals up on Court A against Manchester City, regain that 3rd position with 21 points. I think the most obvious thing for your viewing is Villa Rockets Lions, 3 points behind Teesside still in 4th with 2 games in hand. Leeds Dynamos likewise with 2 games in hand, and if they're able to win that, they would also leapfrog Teesside still. But it's just so fascinating, this race for 3rd. it speaks volumes, I think, to the quality of the overall division when our attention is more drawn at the moment towards third and the race for third than it is the ultimate title. And that's to do GBG Knights and Muscle Warriors no discredit. They've been so good and they've been so faultless that I think our attention for that title race will really ramp up when they face one another tomorrow. It's the race and the pack below them that is seeing 4, 5, 6 teams being drawn into this one position race. So thank you to all that are tuning in to myself and Dean Williams. We will be back very shortly for the second half. Hello everyone and welcome back to the final half of football of day one of game week 3 of the 24-25 Optegra Championship, where you join myself, Ryan Sipple, and WFA chairperson Dean Williams for the second half in Sale United and AFC Bournemouth Warriors currently separated by 4 goals for Sale United, which is their most impressive scoreline all season. David D with 2, Daniel Holt with 1, Mason Davies with the other. They'll be looking to add to that in the second. They have had a switch up. Jack Hassan has come off. Daniel Holt has re-entered the action. I'll bring confirmation of that change upon commencement of the second half. AFC Bournemouth Warriors, with only 4 players at their disposal, can only switch things up tactically rather than looking to the bench, which I think has contributed to this really challenging day. We are back underway. Sale United 4, AFC Bournemouth Warriors 0. And there is confirmation of that change. Mason Davies trying to usher it down to Daniel Holt. Interesting to see how they shape up now. Looks like Mason Davies currently in the centre. We spoke about the story of Mason Davies and having only competed or been... David D has got his hat-trick, fantastically so. I was just going to talk about Mason Davies and the story and how that's feeding into this fantastic fixture. Not only has he provided another assist, he's done so for David D, who has scored a hat-trick. I don't want to say so definitively, but I would confidently say that that is David D's first ever National League hat-trick. Congratulations to him. Brilliant player, brilliant performance. And you have to say that Sale United's contingent will be going home very happy.
And they are joined by, to my right, a couple of Man United players who are cheering on their friends.
Yeah, well, Joey Levine has only switched allegiance since game week 2. He was formerly of Sale United. I think they're referring to it as a loan to help the numbers of Manchester United.
They look very happy. They also did say that they'd come here to listen to us too as well, Ryan, which was a very nice thing for them to say. Thank you very much, chaps.
So, David D, with responsibility of this indirect free kick. Will he be aiming towards the side of Mason Davies' chair? He doesn't. It goes over to Daniel Holt.
And just because there was so much going on there, I wanted to talk about 2 things. Mason Davies, for such a young individual to come in and do what he's done in this game, but to then switch positions, I think that's now the 3rd position he's playing. He actually assisted that one from the centre of the pitch. There is something very impressive there, isn't there?
Yeah, that's what my train of thought was before being interrupted by that David D goal. I was going to say that not only has he only been playing power chair football for 5 months, not only is he providing assists, he's playing in the centre, which is widely acknowledged and considered as the most physical, the most demanding, both mentally and physically position on a power chair football court. So for him to do that and not look out of place is so amazing. 2 goals and an assist as he lines up another strike. Very congested. Daniel Holt and David D both approaching that ball with the same vigour. They won't want to get too complacent. It's a free-flowing attack. They all want to get on the scoreline. So a little bit of respite for that Bournemouth defence.
They are not giving Bournemouth a moment, are they? They are absolutely swarming them. Led by, I have to say, the hat-trick's one thing. Congratulations to David D for that achievement. But he's pressing in this game. He is literally on the offensive all the way through it.
Yeah, absolutely. Full credit to him. Just had a little glance back through the records. I can confirm that this is the greatest scoreline Sale United have ever had within the National League. They have never scored 5 goals against their opposition. So fantastic to see when you're considering the fact that they saw the departures of Thomas Pettigrew to Middlesbrough, Shannon Smith to Manchester United, and also Sam Turner to Villa Rockets Lions, sorry. They're 3 players that started the majority of Sale United's fixtures last season, and having to adjust to life without them and produce this level of performance is really encouraging and speaks to the fantastic work that the coaches are doing.
Yeah.
Coaches, we talk about certain players being unsung heroes. Coaches provide so much guidance and advice, and the work that Jonathan D, Mark Hudson and others behind the scenes are doing for Sale United is absolutely brilliant. It's Mason Davies. It's very fluid, free-flowing, attacking football. None of them 3 outfield players of Sale United are locked to one position. You're seeing almost a merry-go-round that they rotate to accommodate the other's position and forward momentum. Just under 27 minutes played. Sale United 5. AFC Bournemouth Warriors 0. Hat-trick from David D. And the others, Mason Davies and Daniel Holt. Two on one in favour of AFC Bournemouth Warriors. Live on court 8. Teesside still with a 2-goal buffer over Manchester City. Will end the day in 3rd. What a day it's been for Teesside still as well. 2-0 victory over West Bromwich Albion Dudley. 4-0 victory over Leeds Dynamos, and are currently leading 2-0. So if they can go in having scored 8+ goals without reply, not only does that of course help their chances of securing 3rd, what that does for their confidence is probably greater. There's Mason Davies here with responsibility of this indirect free kick into the path of David D. Over to Daniel Holt, trying to return the pass, blocked by Ryan Skinner. One thing about this AFC Bournemouth Warriors, irrelevant of the scoreline, they never give up. David D, across the box, Daniel Holt not quite positioned in an angle to capitalise. A brilliant crossfield ball from D. Found the gap between Skinner and Dakota Hannum. Roxy Berry with a rare touch up the court. Likewise with Jake Hudson, recycles the attack into Mason Davies. exchanges some short, snappy passes with his goalkeeper into David D. Sent goal bound, blocked by Dakota Hannam. Daniel Holt also an option up top. Reminder that the third round draw of the 24-25 Jonker Group WFA Cup will be held shortly after the conclusion of this fixture, so scheduled between 5:30 and 6. Substitute for Sale United sees Jack Hassan re-enter the action in place of Daniel Holt. David D. Back all the way to Jake Hudson. Into Jack Hassan. Just lets that guide down that right-hand corner. Blocked by Adam Sevenoaks. Wide of the left-hand post. Ryan Skinner with the goal kick. Aimed for Adam Sevenoaks. Couldn't engage that ball. Rolls out for a Sale United ball. Tomorrow, Sale United face Manchester City and Nottingham Forest. So, certainly on paper, more favourable than that of others. AFC Bournemouth Warriors following a really challenging day. Have an equally challenging day tomorrow. They play Teesside Steel and Manchester City. Game weeks 4 and 5 of the 24-25 Optegra Championship will take place on the 5th and 6th of April and the 24th and the 25th of May, respectively. Roxy Berry down to Mason Davies, flicks it across the box. Jack Hassan just unable to keep it in play, but the right intent from Davies. David D. Flicked back to Jack Hassan. Taking their foot off the gas ever so slightly, Sale United, with such a comfortable scoreline in their favour. They're not going to look to exert a great deal of energy ahead of a big day tomorrow.
I mean, a good day for them tomorrow. Could see them pushing towards mid-table. Sale United.
Yeah, they're a great side. They're one that will be really unlucky not to feature in the third round draw of the WFA Cup this evening. They were beat on penalties to their sister club Manchester United just last weekend. So disappointing for them, but on the flip side, playing devil's advocate, it does mean that they can focus all of their attention on their National League campaign, where I'm sure the ultimate objective is just bettering last season's accomplishments and placement in the standings, for which they finished, bear with me, in 9th. So across their 22 league games in last season's campaign, they finished on 22 points. So certainly when you're referencing or comparing their performances from this season to that season, we're essentially at the conclusion of today's action at the direct middle point of the season, with 2.5 weekends to be played, breaking game week 3 into 2 days. So if they're able to match their current points tally in the remaining games of game weeks 3, 4 and 5, they will finish on 24 points. But a lot of the story lies beyond the numbers, the development of players and how impressive they've been. David D, slightly forced, would have liked to have seen him look for Jack Hassan on that occasion. Roxy Berry with a potential break, couldn't quite make contact. It rolls out for a Sale United ball. Final 4 minutes, still 5 goals for Sale United. AFC Bournemouth Warriors yet to register a goal all day.
Tough day.
Very much so, but again, without Chris King, who's such an integral part of their squad, the resilience and the character that they've exhibited today is commendable. David D looks to add his 4th goal of the game, trying to squeeze it in that post. He looks like he might be able to do so had he not collided with Ryan Skinner. He's deemed the aggressor in that passage, and Ryan Skinner comes away with a direct free kick for his team.
He might feel a bit unfortunate on that one.
He will, but he has got a hat-trick to his name.
Just greed, isn't it? More than 3 goals, right? It's got to be greed, surely.
So, just for context, David D in the 23-24 campaign only managed to register 2 goals.
Yeah.
So not only has he bettered that in this fixture alone, he's managed to surpass it. So huge congratulations to him. Likewise with Daniel Holt and Jack Hassan, both adding to their goal tallies. And of course, Mason Davies off the mark. His first goal of his National League career.
Which clearly were doing well, but also the minutes were as well.
Yeah,
so he stayed on since he came on.
More so. It's a conversation we had off air with Lee Brennan when we was talking about Hull and East Yorkshire and how they've exhibited clear progressions and developments from not just seasons gone by, but weekends within this season alone, and how one of their young players, Harrison Smith, has been slowly integrated into the team, and how minutes are more important than anything.
Yeah.
Have to emphasise that when it comes to young players, safeguarding them psychologically is so important. Even if they have the ability, there is an intensity, there is a tempo, there is a physicality about the National League that's unlike anything else. So ensuring they're acclimatised to that properly is paramount. It's David D into the man in question. Mason Davies, beautiful control, just bypasses Roxy Berry, who's fairly rooted to the spot, trying to prevent a 2-on-1 being awarded to Sale United. So he's managed to bypass her into the path of David D. Back to Mason Davis, trying to get that pick off in front of Ryan Skinner, who does brilliantly to defend his goal. But in doing so, Dakota Hannon was just pushed out of the box, 2-on-1 in favour of Sale United. So a very late indirect free kick. Dean, I'm going to push you for a player of the match, probably after this free kick has taken place. It will be taken by Jake Hudson. So you're talking about bravery, front foot, attacking football. Not only are all 4 players in the attacking half, all 4 players are in the final third of AFC Bournemouth Warriors. So if AFC Bournemouth Warriors are ever going to have an opportunity to score, it's going to be a breakaway from this. But Jake Hudson, can he add a goal to his tally? I suspect that Jack Hassan will probably be the intended recipient.
Looks like it.
It was a slight shift and a look from Jake Hudson there, which kind of showed his intention, but
could be given the eyes.
And that's something that some of the best players in the league do, is that deception. They shape up and frame their chairs to pass one way, but go another. But I do think it will be Jack Hassan, which it is. Into Jack Hassan, lets it run across his chair, collided off Ryan Skinner. We've had the regulation 20. Dean, please give me your player of the match before we conclude things.
We have to give the player of the match to David D, and very much deserved for the hat-trick. But my goodness me, you could easily make an argument, couldn't you, for Mason Davis? 100%. And Jack Hassan's contribution in this game, as Daniel Holtz as well. I mean, everyone has put their mark on this game, but it has to go to David D for the hat-trick. Very well deserved.
Yeah, so I echo all of that. It's worth noting that Mason Davies was brought on after 15 minutes, and the impact that he had in the 25 or so minutes that he played, incredibly valuable minutes that will boost his confidence. Add to that, of course, the 2 assists, the 1 goal. A brilliant, historic win for Sale United.
And now Mason Davis is dribbling around with the ball. I mean, he's clearly enjoyed himself there, which is wonderful to see. And I think I love your duty of care, Ryan, when you're talking about the younger players that we have in the game, particularly at a very competitive level. I think one of the things that's very, very apparent there from looking at Mason Davis is I think we're witnessing something that's pretty special there in terms of what we've seen. So don't want to put too much pressure on him. That's your duty of care.
Of course.
However, from that perspective, I feel very privileged to have sat there and watch a young man come into the sport, play so little football at this level before, and then put in a performance like that. Brilliant to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to him and Sale United. You can see the live league standings on your screen now, and what that win does for Sale United. It takes them up to 12 points from their 11 games. Teesside Steel, who secured victory on Court A, will end the day in 3rd position, but they have played 2 games more than Villa Rockets Lions in 4th and 1 game more than Manchester United in 5th. What a sensational day of football. I hope you can tune in to fixtures tomorrow in the 24-25 Optegra Championship. Now we've done this, we're going to shift our attention to the 3rd round draw of the John Good Group WFA Cup, which we hope will be up and running within the next 40 minutes or so. Hope you can tune into that one and tomorrow's action. Thank you all very much.